Hey, what's up? My name is Ange. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a complete spoiler reading vlog because there is no other way that I will do a reading vlog on If Only I Had Told Her by Nowlin, except for being complete spoilers, because I think this book is literally going to break my heart and I can't wait for it. I read If He Had Been With Me for my January book club read. That video is out already, but I couldn't not do a reading vlog for this one because this is such like a long awaited book for so many people, and yes, I had waited a really long time to read that book, and then after, I think it was in like the middle of reading that book when I realized that a second one was coming out. I can't, this one, it's gonna break my heart. Oh my god, it's gonna make me so upset. I know it already, but this one is in Finn's point of view, Jack, his best friend's point of view, and Autumn's point of view. So the back says, if only I told her that I loved her years ago, then I wouldn't be here now. Finn has always loved Autumn. She's not just the girl next door or his mother's best friend's daughter. She is his everything. But she's not his girlfriend. That's Sylvie, and Finn would never hurt her. So there's no way Autumn could know how he truly feels. Jack, Finn's best friend, isn't so sure. He's seen Finn and Autumn together. How could she not know? And how is he supposed to support and protect Finn when heartache seems inevitable? Autumn surrounds herself with books and wants to write her own destiny. But one doesn't always get a new chapter, and fate can be cruel to those in love. Told through three different perspectives, If Only I Had Told Her is a love story brimming with truth, tragedy, and the unexpected bonds that heal us. Oh my god, this book. I feel like this is going to be a really quick reading vlog because I think when I pick it up and I get into it, I'm not going to be able to put it down, but we will see. I don't know where this picks up from because obviously if you read If He Had Been With Me, you know what happens. So for it to be in Finn's point of view, I believe that Finn's point of view is basically if he had been with me, but his perspective. And I don't know about Jack and Autumn. I'm assuming that it picks up from the end of If He Had Been With Me. So we will see, but oh my god, this is gonna make me so upset. Oh my gosh, I can't. Okay, let's read it. We're ready for this. Let's go. Chapter 1, let me give you my thoughts, and then we're going to take a breather, and I'm going to go read on my own and probably not record until I have something to say. I don't know if this was done purposefully or if the author had just grown as a writer, but If He Had Been With Me, and it being obviously Autumn's point of view, the way that she spoke versus the way that Finn speaks and the way his mind works, you see the difference. Like, sometimes I read books and I feel like the characters think exactly the same. I can feel Finn in these pages just like I could feel Autumn in those pages, and I feel the difference. I feel like I'm in his mind. Oh my god, this book is going to break me. Oh my gosh. And this picks up where when Autumn had slept at Finn's house when Jack was there, when they made that like fort and everything. And then so that was that night, and then the following night is when Finn goes to break up with Sylvie and passes away in a car accident. Now, I'm not emotionally prepared. How many chapters do we get of Finn? Okay, so we get 149 pages of Finn. So that's roughly like, I think it was like 10 chapters? Oh, I lied. It's 17 chapters. I'm gonna cry knowing, I wish I didn't look, because now that I know how many pages it is until it's Jack's point of view and how many chapters, I'm gonna be so upset reading through it. I don't want him to die. Oh my gosh. This book, whenever Finn talks about in the future or when we go to Springfield, my heart aches. Literally just aches. Because it's like, we know that he's never gonna get that chance now that we read that book. But like... want to ball up and cry because the miscommunication between these two literally cost them so much time together, and it is so upsetting. It's so real, but I think that's what breaks my heart so much, because it's like, literally, if only I had told her, and if only he had been with me, it never would have happened. They would have had so much more time together, and yeah, it's the way that it was meant to go, but why does it have to hurt so bad? Ugh. Okay, so I just finished chapter 4. Let's talk about some of the things that I think are going to happen in this book. I think that Jack and Autumn are going to, like, have it out over the fact that he's going to be like, oh, you let him on for so long. How could you be so dumb? How did you not know that he was in love with you? Blah, blah, blah. And they're going to, like, because Finn was never able to tell her that he felt this way for so long, Jack's going to be the one that's going to tell her that he felt this way. I also think Jack is going to blame her for Finn dying because he was going to break up with Sylvie because of her. I think Sylvie is going to blame Autumn. I think everyone, except for, like, the parents, is going to blame Autumn. I think that Sylvie and Autumn are going to end up being friends. Finn said that if they got over the fact that they both think that the other one hates them, that they would see a lot of similarities between them, and I think that that's what they're going to do. I think that eventually they are going to talk and decide that they both knew Finn really well, and the way that they're going to cope with him not being here anymore is to maybe share stories or things like that. So those are the only things that I'm really thinking are going to be in here. I don't know what else the author is going to throw at us and break my heart about, but I'm already like dreading being done with this chapter because there's going to be nothing else from Finn, and that's just going to hurt me so bad. I can't. I can't. If I have any more ideas about what this book is going to have in it, I will be sure to update. But as of right now, that's all I can really think of it having. Because, oh, and something I really hope that we have is seeing how his mom and how Autumn's mom cope after finding out that he passed away. Because it just ended so abruptly. And if he had been with me, we never really heard about, like, the funeral or anything like that. So I really hope that we get a little bit more of that. I know it's going to literally hurt so bad. However, I hope that we get to see somewhat of it, and I just hope that somebody can... I want to hear about right after it, because I know it, like, I believe it's like a month or so, and then Autumn tries to do something, just things like that. Like, I just want to know what happened right after for his mom or for his friends and stuff like that. Like, I know Autumn kind of just... but not everybody could have done that. So this book, every time my mind is like so I can't. Okay, we will pick back up soon. Hello, who feels like crying? Apparently me. We're picking this book back up again. I'm on chapter 5. Every time I think about reading this book, it just makes me so upset. So let's go. Let's just read just for a little bit longer. Let's go. Okay. Remember how I said that I think Jack is going to blame Autumn? So in chapter 5, it says, Autumn brings out the worst in me, and it's not her fault. Jack thinks it is, though. He's totally going to blame her for what happens to Finn, and I'm not prepared because I'm assuming that we're going to see that whole fight. I just don't know whose perspective it's going to be from. I'm feeling like it's going to be from Jack's perspective. Chapter 7, right? And Finn and Autumn are going to get food, and he's talking about how she's all curled up in the seat leaning against the window. I want to tell her that it's not safe to ride with her feet off the floor, but I don't want to be bossy, and anyway, I'm a good driver. The talking about the driving thing after knowing what happens to him. Oh my gosh. Every little thing just makes me cry. chapter 10. I know that there's only like, I think 17 chapters with Finny, and there's only 17 chapters with Finny, and the fact that I'm already on chapter 10 is killing me. I'm gonna cry. I'm at least going to finish Finn's section today. His is gonna be, I think, the hardest for me to get through. You know what? I'm saying the Finn's is gonna be the hardest for me to get through, but if what I think is gonna happen is actually gonna happen and we're gonna see the funeral and things like that, I think that Jack's point of view is going to be the hardest for me.
So, she's describing her book to me, and...
Ready? Okay. So here it goes. On August 8th, Phineas Smith died, and I can imagine every detail of that night. I literally was like, what? So we just learned what happened to Sylvie, and I knew that it was something bad. We never got told what happened to her in If He Had Been With Me, obviously because Finn had never told Autumn and everything was from Autumn's point of view, but hearing about her teacher, that just like, oh my gosh, it's making my heart hurt. She didn't deserve this. The fight that they had. What I need to hear, Finn, is that you want to be with me. That I'm not the convenient choice for you because you can't be with the person you actually want. Finn, that was so wrong of you to say, I love you, Sylvie. Even though I'd never used the L word around her before, and I felt a moment of panic, but she smiled softly. When you don't actually want to be with her, you shouldn't have done that. Oh my god, Finn, what the heck? When I told you last month that I was going to break up with Sylvie, it wasn't because I thought I had a chance of being more than just your friend. It was because loving you from a distance was one thing. But it wouldn't have been fair to her if I were in love with my best friend. I feel horrible for Sylvie because he's even saying it here. Part of me wishes I could tell Autumn how much I miss Sylvie those weeks. I miss talking with her about politics. I miss going on runs with her when no one else would go with me because it was too cold. I miss calling her to say goodnight. I miss our evenings at the library together, working side by side, not talking. But literally, Sylvie, I hope that this woman heals. I hope that she heals because this is going to... I don't even want to read about them breaking up in the car because it's going to hurt so bad. And we're getting up on it. Like, it's going there, but, like, didn't deserve to be in this relationship with somebody who wasn't in love with them. And yes, just like Autumn loved Jamie. They were in a relationship. They loved each other for years. Finn loved Sylvie, but he was never in love with her, and he shouldn't have ever lied to her about that. And it's just... I have so much to say, but so little to say about this book all at the same time, because I feel like I'm just talking in circles. Jess and Cameron, they probably will not watch this video if they hadn't read the book yet, because it's full spoilers, but you guys, if you did read this, and we haven't talked about it yet, we need to talk about this book immediately, because, wow. This, just like our book club read, there is so much to dissect about this book that it's just so like, oh my god. How did we ever get here, I wonder aloud. How is it possible that two people could simultaneously seem to be both destined and not destined to be together? Really? Really? Again, I have that feeling that there must be a catch, that fate will not allow me to be with her. But when I look back at Autumn and see her quietly and calmly watching me, waiting for whatever I say or do next, I realize that it doesn't matter. You're right, Finn, because there is a catch, and fate will not allow you to be with her because the world is unfair. We have forever, I whisper into her hair, and then I wonder if forever is too much for her. Autumn raises her face and grins at me. Okay, she says, you're right. No, you're not, Ben. You're not right, because you don't have forever. You only have the next few hours, and then you're done. Oh my god. I'm saying done because I don't know if I could say the other word. Oh my god, I'm so upset. You don't have forever. I only have 20 pages left. Oh my god. It's gonna be okay. I wish her brain could accept the truth that mine has. We've made it back together. Can you wait until tomorrow? I want it to be over. If you had just waited. If you had just waited till tomorrow. And when I get back to her, she'll understand. I'll show her every day for as long as she wants me. I want it to just be us. Finn, this is gonna be so painful. Literally so painful. I'll be back in a few hours. It's fine. No, it's not. It's not fine because you won't be back in a few hours. At my car, I say to her, I promise you I'll come back as soon as I can. It may take a while, though. Please don't go, she says. I'm so upset. I literally feel the tears. You know when you get like that knot in your throat? Oh my god. Finn, the reason that you're feeling like this is because your body knows that something is wrong. It's not because of Sylvie. It's not because of the relationship with Autumn. It's not because you're going to break up with Sylvie. It is because your body knows that something is wrong. This is horrible. 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 After this, things are going to be the way they were always supposed to be. I tell her, I can't put it off anymore. It'll all be over soon, I mumble as I start the car. I don't let myself look at her again until she's in my rearview mirror. I turn onto the street and drive it down the hill as the rain starts. The rain! You know, every day that it has rained, since I read If He Had Been With Me, I have thought about Finny. Every single day. Every single time. Obviously, we never knew that they talked, but his mom calling him and saying, I'll let you do what you need to. I love you. I'm proud of you. And then he goes, you always say you're proud of me for the weirdest things, Mom. I tell her, I love you too. Bye. That is the last time he will ever speak to his mother. Why? Laura Nowlin. You're gonna make me cry. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're getting so close to the end of Finn. Ooh, the way that Jack responds when Finn tells him, like, we're together, we are the stupidest people in the world. He says, he's back with, like, his girlfriend or whatever, but physically back with his girlfriend, and Lexi is Sylvie's best friend. At least I think they're best friends. And when you break it off with Sylvie, Lexi might cut me off, especially if you tell her that you're going out with Princess Autumn effin' Davis. He says, don't call her that. The camera battery is dying, so I need to hurry this along, but basically he's on his way to Sylvie's house, and he's saying that only two things will get me through this. The first is that I want Sylvie to be with someone who loves her the way that I love Autumn, and she deserves that. And the second is that Autumn is waiting for me. I cannot fail her. Until I've ended this relationship, we can't really begin ours. I want to hold Autumn without guilt. Ooh. Literally right off, she goes, you effing hole. Oh my gosh. Good for her. Call him out. Love Finny, but call him out, Sylvie. You deserve better. Chapter 17. The last chapter. Oh my god, I have like 5 pages left. Oh my god, let's just read. I'm gonna turn the camera off and just read, and when I feel like it is coming, I'm going to turn it back on because I'm afraid the camera battery is going to die. He says, she pulls out a list of all the things that she wants to ask him, and she's saying, why don't you focus on driving and listening, okay, Smith? Because I have a list of questions and need you to answer. And he says, it would make me laugh with love for her if it didn't also make me want to cry for the same reason. I wish she and Autumn would be friends, or could be friends. So I think that they're going to get close. Again, I think I said that in the beginning for like all my predictions. Oh my god, do you remember in the beginning of this when I could not remember that word? Or if I didn't put that in, I don't know. But anyway, I could not think of the word predictions. So that is my prediction for this, is that they will be close. Were you ever really in love with me? He says, yeah, I believe you, blah, blah, blah. I don't love, she's like, I can't ask you to apologize for loving her more than me. He says, I don't love her more than you. It's not about more. She goes, what's it about then? He goes, our soul. He goes, our souls. I know how ridiculous I sound, but I owe Sylvie the truth, even if it's proof of what a fool I am. You're what? I take a deep breath. Whatever our souls are made of, hers and mine are the same. Are you quoting Wuthering Heights to justify cheating on me? Honestly, I'd be angry too, but Finn, that was kind of good. It's true about you and Autumn. However, he goes, no, I can't justify that. I'm quoting Wuthering Heights to explain why I'm choosing Autumn over you. Whew. Oh no, here it comes. Are you ready? You should let me out, Sylvie says and clears her throat. I'll take you home, I say quietly. The suburban road is empty. I turn on my blinker and make a U-turn. Sylvie says, no, I mean let me out here. I make the turn anyway. Sylvie unbuckles her seatbelt. Sil, I say as I drive toward her house, speeding up a bit. Don't be ridiculous. I've been enough of a bastard already. I'm not letting you walk home in the rain. I just want to get away from you, she screams. I glance at her. I'm not sure what happens after that. The road is wet and the car is sliding. I try to brake and turn, but we're going too fast for the ditch. We're spinning. This could be it. This could be how I die. We've hit something. Suddenly, everything is still. We only have this much. I touch my upper lip and my hand comes away with blood. The airbags didn't go off. Did I hit my face on the steering wheel? Why is there glass? I look to my right. Sylvie, where is she? Did she get out? And then I see her. On the other side of the low median we hit, sprawled across the wet asphalt. She's crumbled, surely broken. I am okay. I can move. Go to Sylvie. Tell her to lie still. Make the call. Get Sylvie to the hospital. Go home to Autumn. With a plan in place, I climb out of the car and run across the rain-soaked pavement to her. I fall to my knees in front of Sylvie, putting my hands to the ground. It's wet. And that's how it ends? That's how it ends? Oh my god. Well, I'm not surprised that that's how it ends, but get to Sylvie, tell her to lie still, make the call, get Sylvie to the hospital, get home to Autumn. I fall to my knees in front of Sylvie, putting my hands to the ground. It's wet. And then it goes to Jack's point of view, and Finn has passed away. So I didn't know how the author was going to do it, how she was going to end Finn's point of view. I didn't know if it was just going to be like, and then it all went black. But then obviously he got out of the car, so he went to her, but just like, it's wet, dash, and then it's done. Like, he didn't even get to finish his sentence. That is so upsetting. I'm not shocked. Obviously, we know what happens. I'm not crying. I didn't cry with If He Had Been With Me either. I think it's because I know what happens, and it was really about that book is that I sat and I just thought about it for a really long time, and I'm still thinking about it like nearly every day, and now I'm gonna be thinking about this one nearly every day, but it didn't make me cry. It just made me think. I'm done for the night. I can't read this anymore right now. It's gonna pick back up with Jack's point of view. Should I read the first line? Are we ready? So we're going to Jack's point of view. Really? The first line is, Phineas Smith is dead. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I can't read it anymore. We're gonna pick back up with Jack's point of view probably tomorrow, but I need to go and sit and think about everything because this book, we'll pick back up tomorrow. Good night for now. Hello. We're picking back up with If Only I Had Told Her. Going on to Jack's point of view now. I read the first sentence, I think it was last night that I was reading, where it says Phineas Smith is dead, and I couldn't read past that. I was like, you know what? I need to sit with the fact that now Finn's point of view is over. Jack knows that he's dead. He thought Lexi was joking. Like, this isn't funny just because you're mad at him. And she's like, no, like, he's really dead. And he calls his mom up, which is something he hasn't done in so long because I think he's one of 6 or there's 6 others. I don't remember exactly what he said. And the last time, with 6 other brothers, okay, so there's 7 boys in this house. She called him up and he was like, but there's no medicine for this pain like there was when he cracked his shin bone. And then he's like, going to check on his mom. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. This is so horrible. Oh my god, okay, let's just keep reading. I gotta keep going. I'm getting teary-eyed at this book. I didn't cry in If He Had Been With Me, and I think it's because it ended so abruptly, and you obviously know what happened. This book is making me upset because it's the afters. Everything that If He Had Been With Me missed the mark for me with because it ended so abruptly, but there was no way to pack all of these emotions into that book because that book would have been like literally this thick. So for there to be a second book, props to everyone who waited for this book so long if they read that book when that came out or years ago, because that would have been horrible for me. cannot unknow these things. I cannot stop from imagining his face. That lives with you. And I don't think we get Sylvie's point of view, but I would have really liked to see Sylvie's point of view, only because I would like to know how she's doing. I know that we're gonna definitely hear from her at some point, but seeing somebody like that, not necessarily being like electrocuted, but like after they're gone, not at a funeral yet, like that messes you up. It stays with you. And like how he's saying, and even he didn't even see it, and he's saying how he can't stop thinking about it, because it's true, you can't stop thinking about that. It's so sad. Oh my gosh. It's making me think of the song Give Heaven Some Hell. Somebody had played this song after my dad passed away, and I listened to this song a lot. Got a line out the church door saying goodbye. Him being not mad, but also like upset, angry, annoyed at how many people are like, oh, he was the best. He was like, you didn't know him like how he knew him. And I get that part of that being annoying or being upsetting or making you angry, because it's true. It's like when somebody passes away and then everybody flocks, and then they have all these stories, oh, he was the best of this or that. Like, you didn't know him how I know him. And oh my god, it's just so upsetting. If I talked about how If He Had Been With Me made me just sit and think for so long over and over again, you wait until I finish this book. I'm never gonna stop talking about this book. The way that she is leaving, and then she goes, I'm letting Sylvie have the funeral. Is it because nobody knew that he was breaking up with her? Like, chapter 7, right? At least I think it was in this chapter 2. And Sylvie's like, I can't remember. Like, the doctor said that it's not the memory loss, that like I'll never remember it again, but my brain is protecting itself. Do you think that she really doesn't remember, or she just doesn't want to relive it? Because I kind of feel like she remembers and just doesn't want to talk about it because she doesn't want to keep reliving it, but I don't know. And he's saying, suddenly I realized who I should be angry at, when he's running around. His first run after Finn passed away, because they always would run together. And he's like, texts her, and he's like, why weren't you wearing your seatbelt? Because Finn was like the guy who sat there and waited, I think it was 40 minutes because Kyle wouldn't put on his seatbelt. He texts her and is like, why weren't you wearing your seatbelt? Because it's like, no way Finn was driving if you weren't wearing it. And because he hated the rain anyway. His 4 messages from Sylvie. 40 minutes ago, I told you I can't remember. 5 minutes after that, I'm sorry. 11 minutes ago, even if I can't remember, it's still my fault. And a minute after that, I'm sorry, Jack. I stare at her last message, still gulping air. A drop of my sweat drips on the screen and blurs out her words. What would Finn say to her? It was the rain's fault. I type and hit send. She doesn't reply. I'm unwell. I am unwell. The only way out is through, he says, nodding. If that ain't the truth, I don't know what is. Pause the music. I knew it. Okay, I knew it. Headphones have to come off for this one. He's blaming Autumn now. So the stages of grief for everybody go so differently, right? So he's anger now. So Angelina is selling his car. So she's like, hey, Jack, you can go clean it out, whatever. And he's like, Finn's car was never a mess, and there's a bag hidden under the seat, and it also explains why there was trash in Finn Smith's car. Suddenly, I hate that girl so much. Autumn was the reason Finn was breaking up with Sylvie and driving in the rain. She was the reason he was distracted that night. If he hadn't been cheating on Sylvie the night before, Finn probably would have told her that they needed to go home, that they could talk on the phone the following day. But his guilt over what Autumn had gotten him to do, had kept him out all night, even though it was getting late, even though it was raining hard, and he hated driving in the rain. If you took Autumn out of the equation, Finn would still be alive. I knew it. I knew he was gonna blame her. Oh my gosh, my heart. My heart. Oh my god, and now he's going to going to Finn's house to go talk to Angelina, and now he's probably gonna go over to Autumn's house and blame her. She's gonna come out and then he's gonna blame her, and it's gonna be really bad. Oof. Oh, that's rough. So the bag, when he went to the grocery store and got something, and also, or not the grocery store, I'm sorry, like the corner store is how it's like a Wawa kind of thing, convenience store, 7-Eleven, and got her like all the candy and whatever, and the other thing that now he's keeping it under his seat where it was in Finn's, the way it had been hidden in his car. I can't get rid of it. It tethers him to this world, but it's also a symbol of how chasing her had killed him in the end. Autumn will be fine without it. Angelina said so. I'm scared for the chapter that he approaches Autumn. I'm like really scared for it. Him and Alexis are breaking up. He keeps mentioning Sylvie. Do we think that he's gonna get with Sylvie? Bouncing that idea around. Or is it just like a grieving thing? I don't know. We shall see. Let's keep reading. Where are we? In bed. Again. Why do I look like this? Because I'm sick. Again. Are we surprised? No. I am always sick. So I'm picking back up. I read a little bit of chapter 12 of Jack's point of view. And he's moving off to college. And he goes over to his door and the RA is taking off Finn's name tag. And it's so sad. Because he asks and he's like, there's been a reassignment. Not sure if you knew. Well, there's always been a long waiting list for the first semester, so they'll be giving us the name of your new roommate shortly. Had you connected with your first assignment? He goes, yeah, I knew Finn. This is my mom and dad. That's so upsetting. He's talking about college and he said, so what's college like? It's hard to say. And everything just goes back to Finn, and obviously it's gonna keep going back to Finn, but it's so upsetting. Turning the camera on because he just walked back into the room and Brett was crying, so I feel like something's gonna happen here, so let's read. He's like, hey, do you want to talk about it? He's expecting to say no, expecting him to pretend he wasn't crying. He says, I'm sorry if I've been so weird. Okay, let's sit up. Let's sit up for this one. The only person I shared a room with before was Todd, my twin brother. He passed when we were 14. I'm so depressed. That's the picture on his desk. And Jack was like, oh, I thought that it was just your little league photo. No, it's his twin brother who passed away. I'm done. Oh my god, good. They're gonna bond. Good. They both of them need somebody. It sounds like Todd and Finn would have gotten along well. Ugh, the way that Todd passed. Are you kidding? The malfunction in the airbag. The room was open because my best friend passed last month. It's not the same as a brother, especially not a twin, but I kind of get it. Brett says last month. Dude, I'm surprised you didn't punch me on sight. Me too. Someday you'll think of Finn and it won't hurt. It's not that the hurt ever goes away. You saw me today, but sometimes when I remember Todd, I'm just happy that I got to be his brother. Someday you'll have that with Finn. I know it. I'm really happy for Jack. Like, at least he has somebody who understands him. Good. I'm glad he's not completely alone because I was getting really scared there for a minute. End of chapter 16. Did that happen with in the other book? When oh my gosh, I almost just called him Finn. Oh my gosh. End of chapter 16 of Jack's point of view, when he's mowing the lawn and Autumn comes out. Did that happen in the first book? I don't remember that. I don't know, or at least I don't know if it came up, but wow. So Sylvie is the one who called. So Sylvie called and told Jack about Autumn. Chapter 18, and him and Sylvie were just talking on the phone, and he's going to go back and go talk to her about how Finn wouldn't want that for her, blah 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 blah, like that whole thing. Because Sylvie's like, I'll be honest, if you didn't offer, I was gonna guilt you into it. I don't think she'd want to see me. And he goes, if I didn't offer, then I should have been guilted. He feels so bad about not saying something. Oh my god, I am so nervous to read this chapter, because obviously we know at the end of If He Had Been With Me that she's pregnant. I wonder if she's gonna say that. I wonder if she knows yet. She does, right? She might know already. Well, they say it at the end, like, when was the last time you got your period, but I don't know if she's going to. This book stresses me out. Okay, let's read the last chapter together. He brought the bag of everything that Finn bought her. Oh my gosh, I'm done. She just blurts it out. She's like, I'm pregnant. And Finn, of course. He bursts out laughing. like, oh, this just makes it better. When she hugs me goodbye, it doesn't feel like goodbye. It feels like hugging Finn. I know that now she's going to be a part of my life for a long time. It isn't until I'm driving home that it dawns on me. I've been thinking about Finn, and for the first time since Alexis's call that morning, it doesn't hurt. I'm so grateful that Finn was once alive, and that I got to love him, that he got to be loved and be loved and be loved still. And then that's the end of Jack's point of view. Jack's point of view is over. And now all we have left is Autumn's, right? So I have this much left in the book. My thoughts on Jack's point of view is I absolutely loved it. Loved every single second of Jack's point of view. I thought that he was going to blame Autumn more, and then maybe they were going to have like an altercation with that, but he didn't, which I'm glad about, because like I'm glad at the ending that they're getting right now. I'm glad that he was able to connect with his roommate. And everything happens for a reason. Like, that person that chose Brett to be his roommate happened for a reason. So I'm really glad that he was able to be with somebody in that room who connected with him, even though it wasn't done on purpose like that. So he's right. Finn would have wanted him to enjoy his time and be in college, and he's going down the right path, and he's going to learn to live with it. It's like the best way that I can say it. It's really sad. I really loved that Jack's point of view was in here. I'm really happy, like really happy that we got Jack's point of view. Now on to Autumn's point of view. I am scared. So it goes from 283 to 391. I think is what it is. 391, so 100 and some pages, and I can't. This book, like, I want to be done with it because I just want to know what happens, but I don't want to rush it, but I don't want it to be over, because then this is it. I'd like to talk for a second. I'm on chapter 3 of Autumn's point of view. I would like to talk for a second about the things that I'm hoping for in Autumn's perspective. I hope that she talks to Sylvie. I hope that they get to talk with each other. I hope I see a little bit more of Jack, and I hope that I see this baby being born. I think it's gonna be a boy, but because I think it's gonna be a boy, I think that it's gonna be a girl. If we even get to know. I hope we get to know. But I don't know if we're gonna get to know. All I'm really hoping for this chapter is for her to, even just for the baby to be born and her to be like, what my mom said was right. Like, once you see this child, like, do you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing that she was just talking to her mom about, but I just, like, I hope that she gets to talk to Sylvie. I don't know what else could happen. I'm, like, lost. I'm, like, what I want is for them all to heal. I want to see the child, but I don't know what to expect. So I pushed myself to shower and feel better, and I'm determined to finish this book, like, right now. So I'm on chapter 5 of Autumn's point of view. I have a few things. I love that Jack kept in touch with her, and she says to Angie, she meets up with Angie, right? And they're talking blah blah blah. And I like that she's gonna have a friend who, one, understands the motherhood part, but also just has a friend in general. I like that Jack text her. I think she said like 3 times a week or so, every 3 days or so. And then, does anyone else get worried when she's like, oh my gosh, Autumn, I thought the baby was passed away this morning? Like, I'm a little worried because last time that Angie said something about like, oh my god, I only did it once and now I was pregnant, like, I'm concerned that we are not going to get a happy ending, and I'm so afraid. So let's read for a little bit. Yay. One, I want to know more about this Brittany girl, and two, I want to know why the mothers are fighting. I'm worried. I'm so worried. She says neither of, so Autumn is at the doctor's appointment, right, and they're doing the scan, whatever. She had to pee in the cup, you know, like the whole thing. And she's talking to her mom in the car, and she's like, neither of us is foolish enough to believe that lightning doesn't strike twice. Something is gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be able to handle it. Okay, now I know why the mothers are fighting. The card that, her name's Claire, right? Autumn's mom keeps using is not Autumn's dad's money. It's Finn's dad's money. That's why they're fighting. She says something like, since it's dad's money, I'll have to let her do something to his office eventually. Angelina Steffens, what did you say? Since it's dad's money. It's not your father's money, Autumn. Is that what your mother told you? And she's like, no, I just assumed because she told Angelina that she talked to her, but they never talked. And she's like, your mother didn't tell you about the arrangement with Finney's father? She goes, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That makes so much sense. I don't know the details, but apparently in exchange for whatever access you are willing to give him, updates or pictures, Finn's father gave access to Finney's trust fund. So that Brittany girl, remember how she's like, oh, I'm going to be able to tell the gender, I promise. Well, she's like, she comes up to her and she's like, you're having a girl. I thought you should know. See, like I said, she's having a boy, but that's too, like, predictable, so I think she's gonna end up having a girl. Well, I think I'm right. Autumn met with Finney's dad, and he looks just like him, which I wasn't surprised about because she mentioned earlier on in the book that Angelina didn't look much like Finn, but she saw his dad and is having dinner with him, or lunch or something like that. I think it was lunch. Talked about how wrong it was that he wasn't there for Finn, and now he wants to be there for this baby because he made the wrong decisions with him, but he wants to be there, right? So he's just handing over the inheritance. He's like, it was wrong to dangle that in front of you like that, or in front of your family, your mom like that, so I don't want to do that. I'll take whatever you're willing to give, but I want this to be for Finney's kid. So I think that that's great of him. I'm glad she has a really good support system, but there's still like 20 pages left, so who knows how long that's going to last for, but it's time for the big ultrasound, and we're going to hope for the best. Gender on them. What the heck? Do you know when you have to like cover the pages so that you don't read ahead? That's me right now. Oh my gosh, 2 days after the event. Is that 2 days? That's when he passed away. Is that when he passed away? 2 days after the actual event? The baby isn't what's left over from our love story. The baby is our story's continuation. It's a girl! It's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl. Oh, see, I told you I was gonna be wrong. I don't like that the chapter ended like that because Finney and I are having a daughter and she's probably going to be fine. Probably. Why do I feel like she's not going to be fine? She's so not going to be fine. This is going to be a problem because I'm not well. So I thought there were 397 pages. I was wrong. There's only 391. I'm on 388. So I didn't realize this was the last chapter. It's chapter 15. Her daughter has a hole in her heart, and sometimes it's a problem. Sometimes babies go to sleep and don't wake up. Sometimes toddlers need surgery, blah, 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 blah. And she's talking all about that. So I'm going to just read the next few pages, and then I'm going to give an entire review on the book. Something is happening with Sylvie and me. Something is happening. Well, I had this umbrella of hers, and when I went to return it, something happened. I think it's going to keep happening too. I know it's a really weird situation, but I wanted you to know in case it was a problem. I know that there will be days when it feels like there won't be a future, but for today, I can feel how Finny is still with me. And the book is done. Now, please hold while I get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which has something in the back of it. Hold on. The Barnes & Noble exclusive edition has in the back of it the author's, where is it? Drafting pages from Laura Nolan's If Only I Had Told Her, right? So let's read these. For Sylvie, how's Sylvie doing? Don't explain. What they loved about Finny. I can't read a lot of the handwriting. TV watching without Finny. What is Autumn's grieving plan? Letter to Finny, forgive. What would he think of her new body? Angie talked to others at college. The candy. Bits of Finny everywhere. Okay, so there's also a whole section in the back, a conversation with the author, which I'm not going to completely read here, but it is in the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition if you want to check it out. But I have finished If Only I Had Told Her. And I'm going to rate this book a 5-star read. Because if you think that I talked about If He Had Been With Me a lot, I am never going to shut up about this book. This book actually made me cry. If He Had Been With Me, I believe I rated it 4 stars. I did not cry with it a lot because I knew what was going to happen. But seeing the after part from his family and his best friend and stuff like that, that made me cry. That made me upset. I related to it. It hurt. It just... So, one thing that I didn't love is that we didn't get a lot from Sylvie. I wish that even if we got like a small section from her, or even if Jack had talked to her, or I wish her and Autumn got to speak. Like, I get why they didn't, but I wish that they did. I feel like that part truly missed for me. I'm surprised that she was having a girl. Not that that really matters, but I mean, it really did throw me as the reader off, because you would expect it to be a boy, like, oh, the father passed away, so, do you know what I mean? I don't know if that's just my mind, but I would have expected her to have a boy, but I am glad that it threw me off like that because I was expecting it. I wish we got to see her have it in the name and everything like that, but I know that there's more than likely not going to be another one. There's no need for another one. Don't drag it out anymore, but I really love this book. I need to talk to somebody about this because I'm happy. You know what? I'm really happy for Jack and Sylvie. That's very nice. But I'm also a little weirded out by it because him and Finn were best friends, but it would have been obviously worse if it was Jack and Autumn, but like, I don't know. I have mixed emotions on that, but like, good for them. You know what I mean? I just wish we got a little bit more from Sylvie. I wish her and Autumn had talked, but again, I get why that they didn't. I'm glad Autumn is dealing with it. Her getting pregnant and having this baby is what's forcing her to move on, and I think that that's really good for her, because even she said in the last book, like, Finny wouldn't want her to do anything if she was pregnant. I'm happy that she sees a purpose now, and I'm happy that she wants to do this. So, all in all, I would give this book a 5-star. I love this. I will probably never stop talking about this book. I'm going to go read that conversation with the author now, but if you have not read this was a full spoiler reading vlog, so I hope that you did. But if you didn't, you have to go read this for yourself. Thank you so much for watching this reading vlog. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Bye!